Hello, YouTube. It's me, Lady Vet. I'm here to offer my recap version of Power Book 4, Force, Season 2, Episode 7. I must agree that Chicago is heating up, and it goes a little something like this. Maria and Tommy are still at it when Maria's worst nightmare is knocking at Tommy's door. Up front and in person is Miguel Garcia. Well, Maria stopped her own heart attack when Miguel began to talk to Tommy about the Serbs hitting the projects. Luckily for both of them, Tommy spotted and removed Maria's work credentials before Miguel did. In my opinion, Maria and Tommy are underestimating Miguel and his ability to smell the stink in the air. At this point, there is no way of knowing if Miguel saw Maria's credentials or not, or if Miguel suspects Maria and Tommy. After all, Miguel is looking at Maria differently since she refused his insulin. But what is clear is that Maria is playing a dangerous game and she knows it. Diamond got a visit from Tyrone with a pea cup in his hand. I know that Diamond is tired of this guy popping up. Not to mention that Tyrone dropped Diamond's name to speak at the Crimson Project's fundraiser, and he suggested that Diamond denounce his connection to CBI, a certified death sentence for Diamond. While DeFranco and Stacy discuss the Crimson Project situation, Stacy admits that she knows Vic is holding out on them. That conversation is interrupted by an upset Lori talking about innocent people being killed in the Crimson Project situation and looking for something to report to the Attorney General. Stacy quiets Lori by telling her that she has a CI with first-hand testimony leading to the Estrada cartel. Lori walked out, but not before reminding Stacy that her job is on the line because results talk and BS walks. With all the goings on, Raheem goes to Shanti with the street talk and provides his own opinion about Jannard being bad for business and throwing Shanti off her game. Shanti dropped Raheem and reminded him that she expects that he would have her back, to not allow her moves or Jannard to be disrespected by others. Also, Shanti believes that she is the smartest of them all. Diamond and Tommy called their first coalition meeting to lay out the plans. Jannard stepped in asking about the Serbs. Tommy tried to reel him in, but noise from the other crew occurred, and Raheem wanted to shut that down. Tommy and Diamond regained control over their meeting by pointing out the whole purpose of the coalition. So Vic, always wanting to know what's next, got his answer about them heading to the west side and all the work that's done already. So just as the mentality in the room speaks to moving in unison, Jannard, once again, halts the meeting to ask about the Serbs. Tommy told Jannard that the Serbs would be handled from the top as long as no one retaliates. Jannard was not happy. After the coalition meeting, Jannard and Vic walked out together. Jannard told Vic that Claude approached him, but he refused her. And Vic said that she has always wanted to be like Walter, but not him. Vic pitched for Tommy and the new moves to build a coalition. Jannard wasn't with it. Tommy and Diamond get together. They talk about Chabo, the leader of the DSD. Diamond arranged a meet. Diamond asked Tommy about the Serbs being handled at the top, and Tommy fills him in about Miguel's visit to his place and their conversation to cut the Serbs off. Diamond likes the move against the Serbs. After overhearing Claude's conversation with Jannard, Shanti goes behind Tommy and Jannard's back and meets with Claude. Shanti offered Claude a deal to move product and to cut a slice to the exclusive club owner. Claudia tried Shanti with a 60-40 deal, but Shanti let her know what time it is, and they settled on a 50-50 deal for the ladies only, no men. Stacy Marks is under a lot of pressure and ready to press Vic for her troubles. DeFranco and Singh tried their best to help Stacy understand that any additional eyes or heat, it may spook Tommy because he's been in the game a long time. Stacy could care less. She wants them to bring Vic in to see her so that she can look in Vic's eyes. Miguel followed through to meet with Shay to talk about cutting the Serbs off. But Shay is more upset with all the infighting that seems to be between Miguel and Merkovich. Shay's mind is on the business. Miguel attempted to explain that nor he or his men has anything to do with the Serbian stuff. Although the Serbs came to his house, they shot at him, and they stole his product. He did nothing and wants to know how much should he take. OMG. When Miguel finds out that it's Tommy and Diamond, and he will, well, anyway, Miguel further explained that the Serbs would be dead if it wasn't for Shay. Shay got it. He heard Miguel, so he wanted to know what's on Miguel's mind for a next move. Simple. Miguel wants Shay to cut off the Serbs and let them starve to death. Shay really heard Miguel, and so he met with Merkovich at a train station. Shay had no problem telling Merkovich that for 20 years the Serbs were served well and that the kindness of the Estrada cartel is being taken advantage of. No nonsense, Merkovich told Shay that where he's from, kindness is a fantasy. Shay said that the same applied to restraint where he's from, but he managed to find it. And burning a building filled with Estrada customers is unacceptable. Merkovich must end the war. While Tommy is trying to get Maria to his place, Miguel reached out to Tommy to let him know that the Serbs are cut off. Sorry, Tommy, you've dealt with the Serbs a long time. When has anyone just cut them off? Think, Tommy. Jannard can't sleep. He's developing withdrawal symptoms and tells Shanti that he has to get out and bend the block a bit. Shanti asks Jannard to be careful and make sure that he doesn't let Tommy get him. Vargas is busy with his surveillance duties, but he doesn't know that as Tommy and Vic are hanging out, he is also being watched by Tommy. Vic wants to know the next move, as usual, but Tommy throws him a curveball when he gives him another burner to keep the feds off their backs, and Tommy tells Vic that he is to stay one step ahead of the feds at all times. Tommy tells Vic exactly where Vargas is posted up. Tommy pays Shanti a visit to introduce her to new management. Tommy's impressed with Shanti's workout, but Shanti's attempt to diss Tommy didn't go so well. Shanti got smart with Tommy and began to walk away when he loudly called her out. Tommy reminded her that she made a deal to work with him and CBI unless they won out. Shanti quickly realized that Tommy's no joke and took him to her office. On the outside, Vic gets a call from Vargas for a meet later. But inside, Tommy tells Shanti that he understands Jannard's backward hustle to corner boy and wants her to understand he rewards loyalty. She respects that, and Tommy collected and left. On the way out, Tommy reminded Vic of his business savvy. But Vic said, "Me and you are a lot alike, Tommy." Tommy said, "No way, not even. I fought for everything that I got while you were born already on second base. So let's go, and I'll go solo on the rest of the drops today." Needless to say, Jannard and Raheem are a bit salty about the setback to corner boy status after Jannard was running CBI for the past 15 years. So while walking, Raheem bringing the street talk to Jannard, but Jannard was trying to stay focused and not let withdrawal take over. Out of nowhere, Jannard decided to take action between getting high or killing Tommy. So Jannard asked Raheem to get him a piece because his choice was to kill Tommy. Jannard was met by the dope man, but this time he fought him off. So the meet was set up by Diamond with Chabo, and he wanted to warn Tommy about him, give him a little background. But it didn't faze Tommy at all. His eyes are looking towards the top. Now, I've got to say that as much as I like Diamond, this low-key move to insert himself into Jamal's family is absurd. Diamond choked Jamal out, but he didn't kill him. And now he's smiling with Leon at their home. He's not picking him up for boxing lessons. Diamond's in the man's house helping Gianna with groceries and telling them that he's inviting them to the Crimson Project's fundraiser, where he's been asked to speak. Come on, Diamond. And what about Briggs? What happens when she finds out? While Claudia and Elise are chilling and making moves at the exclusive club, Claudia admires Shanti's game in progress. The two are delivered a bottle of champagne, and shortly afterwards, two random guys stop by. Then at knife point, they rob Claude and Elise of their jewelry and told them to keep their mouths shut. They were clearly disturbed. Now that Victor has arrived to Stacy's office, she gave him the business while Vargas looked on. Stacy told Vic that he's missing meetings and is not wanting to update Vargas in person. Stacy questions Victor's loyalty. Victor explains that with Vargas hovering over him, it could get him killed. Stacy does not care about anything except Vic doing what she tells him to do. Vic told Stacy that Tommy is using CBI to get all the gangs working for him. He tells her that Tommy wants to be the plug. When Vic told Stacy about the meet with the DSD, Stacy told Vargas to wire Victor. Of course, Victor is against wearing a wire, but again, Stacy does not care. Tommy was at home preparing for Maria's visit, but little did he know that Jannard was outside waiting to kill him. Then Maria arrived, and Jannard forgot about killing Tommy because he thought that it would serve him better to take pictures of Miguel's sister Maria and Tommy together. As Maria enters, Tommy senses that something is off. Maria tells Tommy that she is afraid since Miguel came to Tommy's place, and that she was with another guy, but Miguel found out and killed him. Tommy assured her that he can take care of himself. Maria settled in and stayed with Tommy. Back at the exclusive club, Claudia and Shanti see the guy who robbed Claudia. At first sight, Shanti told the guy to give her friend the jewelry back and apologize. The guy told Shanti to give him her stuff also. Needless to say, Shanti punched the guy, threw him over a chair, and pulled her piece on him, telling him to give Claude her stuff and get out. Poor Miguel. This guy can't pee in peace. At his toilet door was his top earners. Tommy and Diamond wanted to negotiate more product at lower prices. Miguel wanted to understand if they were serious after he put himself on the line by getting the serves cut off for them. But of course, Tommy reminded Miguel that the serves deserved to be cut off and it benefited both of them. Although suspicious, Miguel entertained their explanation as Tommy talked about all the areas that they had gained traction. Tommy told Miguel that he has the best product and could become a one-stop shop, making the most money. Miguel understood that to do this, he would be putting his neck on the line with the cartel. So if they failed to deliver, Miguel promised Tommy and Diamond to put their necks on his kitchen table. Tommy is moving so fast, He's thinking that they got Miguel on the hook. But Diamond reminds Tommy that once Miguel finds out about their meeting with the DSDs and figures it out that Tommy and Diamond are filling the Serbs' gap, Miguel will realize their plan is to come for his spot. Diamond insists that something does not feel right about the whole thing. Then Diamond pulls a ghost move. He tells Todd and Shanti went back to Claude's place to take their cuts of the deal. Claudia was impressed with how Shanti handled the random guy at the club, and she really liked the all-girls setup. Shanti was stacking her paper while Claude suggested other clubs and wanted to know if they should make it long-term. Shanti wanted to squeeze the hustle for everything and talk about long-term later. So we find Diamond at the Crimson Project's fundraiser, cleaned up in a suit, looking ghost-like, while Tommy heads into unknown territory. Diamond spoke as he looked at another man's family as his own. He talked about being locked up for 15 years and about his second chance in life, that he would not throw it away. He talked about getting the most out of his time here and fighting for the life that you want. Later, Diamond thanked Gianna and Leon for supporting him. In my opinion, Diamond is torn between the two worlds, just like Ghost. Will his fate be just like Ghost also? So the snake Victor sat on a park bench with Vargas, getting some sun and a wire to help Stacy and the feds take Tommy down. Vargas gives Vic a pendant look-alike wire with access to turn on or off. Vic asks what happens if he is found out. Vargas told him to ditch the wire. It is Vic's call, but Vargas stressed that what Vic is doing is for a good cause. And oh, by the way, here's something else for you, Vic. Vargas told Vic to put a tracker on Tommy's car. So we go to the Garcia household to find Miguel having a meal with his abuela and looking like, "Grandma, please go home. I got this." But as Maria said, this is her monster, so she must help him. Apparently, she told Miguel the story of his grandfather taking his eye off the ball and the devastating results of that. Miguel was heated by hearing the story yet another time and told her that he is always ready for war. Abuelita shouted that you've heard it, but you didn't listen. Miguel began to lose his appetite as he told her that they are stronger than ever and the Serbs are cut off. She asked who made that decision. She told him that the white boy has plans, and if he's not one or two steps ahead, he will end up blind or dead. He told her that he can take over the Serbs' distro and plans to make an offer to the Division Street Devils. Miguel tells his grandma that the Garcias will be the only connect in Chicago. While Diamond's trying to live his best life outside of the game, Tommy has Victor, with the wire around his neck, riding with him to the first-time meet with DSD leader Chavo. Tommy was met with a brick thrown through his window as a welcome and a gun at his chest. Victor's sweating, and Tommy's determined to do what he came to do, to get the DSDs on board. Chavo expressed that he was glad to meet Tommy because his name's been ringing all over Chicago. Chavo barely gave any love to Victor, but kept his conversation going with Tommy. First order of business was Tommy telling Chavo that he needs a new window. Snake Victor turns on the wire, just as Tommy tells Chavo what he is there to offer. Chavo was skeptical about the coalition working out. He wanted time to think about it. But once Tommy told him that the Serbs were cut off, Chavo told Tommy that the only thing he hated more than the Serbs was Miguel and his old school thinking that being Mexican made him better than the Puerto Rican Chavo. Tommy and Chavo closed the deal with a handshake and a new window for Tommy. Tommy messaged Diamond that they shook hands. Deal done. Tommy's feeling good about getting one step closer to his goal of being at the top. Diamond really can't focus on the DSD deal being done because Gianna is at his door early and has no problem telling Diamond that she wouldn't mind staying at his place for the night. Diamond's getting his wish, at least for now. Elise likes what she sees, so she's in Claudia's ear about another club where rich white kids love drugs, and she thinks that they can hustle there. Claudia remembered why Walter stayed away from those clubs, but Elise reminded Claude that Walter is dead. They can do their own thing. So Claude tells her that if they go that route, they're going to need Shanti. But Elise put the brakes on Shanti by telling Claude that she doesn't need Shanti, only Shanti brings her bag to her place to find Jannard and her stolen necklace returned. Jannard is excited to tell Shanti what he has on Tommy, but is put on pause by Shanti, asking him not to be mad about her news. She shows Jannard the bag and tells him about her club deal with Claudia. Of course Jannard is upset because he knows that working with Claude could get him removed from CBI. Shanti stressed to Jannard that the side deal is theirs only and Claude knows better than to mess it up. Jannard moved to his news by showing Shanti the pics of Tommy and Maria and how he plans to put Tommy on blast in the streets. But Shanti gives Jannard some Napoleon Bonaparte wisdom. She tells Jannard to never interrupt enemies while they're making a mistake. She told Jannard to let Tommy hang himself while they sit back and enjoy the show. Since the beginning of season 2, we've had a death here and a death there. But whoa, who would have thought that episode 7 wraps with Vargas's death? But wait, who would have thought that Vic would kill a cop on his quest to get out of the game? Looks like. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, like, and drop your thoughts in the comments box. And of course, never hesitate to thank a vet. I'm out.